Members of Høstfest-Heritage Foundation say they conquered a significant challenge grant thanks to the support of donors. In May, board member Clint Severson announced he would match donations to the foundation up to $600,000. Board President John McNair said they hit that total last week. He said he's very happy to see the outpouring of support for the Norse Høstfest.
I think one thing I've learned through this process is that the Norse Høstfest is very important to this community, and every person I've talked to, whether it's a business, an individual, a volunteer, they are very happy with us continuing it and want to see it succeed.
The foundation is managing the event this year after parting ways with Epic Events.